AITA for enjoying my only day off. AITA for enjoying my day off. You tell me. On mobile, by the way. For context, I work at car wash. I'm almost 18 and a senior in high school. I worked my way up by taking over social media and building a website. I handle most customer relations for my location when I'm there. I also sell memberships. I'm the best one at my job, and I'm proud to make myself indispensable to the company. But because my hours are short, conform to the highest activity hours, I work 6 days a week. My only day off is Tuesday. I value my day off greatly. I already had to stop by my work to make an instruction manual because my supervisor decided to put his responsibilities on me. I was pissed, but I got the job done. My prom is this week, so I decided to use my day off to get a spray tan. I have a farmer's tan from working outside, haha. Before my appointment, my boss, the owner, called me. I ignored it because I knew if I answered it, he would give me a task that was to be finished right away. He sent a text saying to call him back, but I didn't bother calling him back on my only day off. I was irked, but didn't worry too much about it. It could wait until tomorrow. Before I left for my appointment, a supervisor texted and called me. Upset, I decided to answer it so I wouldn't be bothered during the rest of my day off. He asked me if I could do a solid and boost an hiring ad for another location. I said sure, I can do it tomorrow, and told him it would be the first thing I do when I arrive at work. He seemed aggravated that I wasn't going to do it today, off the clock, on my only day off. Then, after my tan appointment, a customer texted me, which means my boss or supervisor gave them my number without a heads up. I haven't answered it. I'm a part-time hourly worker. I fully believe that my day off should have no work-related activities. But I get the vibe the owner and supervisor mentioned earlier are mad I ignored them. I'm mad that my day off was constantly interrupted by my work life. I understand that I'm very good at what I do, but that does not mean I'm available at beck and call. So, AITA for trying to enjoy my only day off. I'm proud to make myself indispensable to the company. Flush this attitude down the toilet ASAP. The company doesn't give a rat's ass about you. They will actively work to destroy your work-life balance whenever possible. NTA, you are doing good. I was going to say exactly this. No matter how good of a job you do, this company will never see you as indispensable. I have seen a lot of best at their job employees selling the most memberships, surpassing every quota, completing every task, etc. get fired with no warning for the pettiest reasons. Companies are dumb like that. You could be making 3 times the profit as another employee, but they won't hesitate to send you packing if the order to cut costs comes down the flagpole. Someday the boss's kid might need a job and you'll find yourself pushed out of the way to make room. Or heck, you could just have one bad day where you show up late, or piss off a customer, or get on your supervisor's bad side, and you'll learn exactly how much loyalty your work got you. Treasure your day off. Don't lift a finger for them until you are on the clock as scheduled. They'll suck you dry. If they get half a chance, don't give it to them. One of the worst screw the good employee stories I ever read was of an aspiring chef who started at the bottom as a dishwasher. He put all his enthusiasm for learning to cook into his fervor to work his way up, but no one put the effort he did into washing the dishes. So, everyone else said it was best he stayed dishwasher because they would never find someone who cared as much. He quit. Oof. That's rough. But that's absolutely a thing that happens all the time. If you're really good at your job, you might work your way to the top. Or you might find yourself stuck in a dead end because the people who should be promoting you realize that if they actually do promote you, they'll lose the work you do for them. One more reason not to work unpaid overtime. Take on your supervisor's responsibilities. Be available on your time off, etc. Do your job and do it well, but make sure you're actually getting something out of it. NTA. Good for you for standing firm about not working when you're not scheduled, aka not getting paid to do so. If your boss really wants you to do something, he needs to pay you for your time. That's how running a business works. Have fun at your prom. Enjoy. NTA, your supervisors are taking advantage of you. I'd block their numbers on your day off. There's nothing so important that they need to find you when you're not scheduled to work. If you were a supervisor manager, it may be appropriate to occasionally be on call, but they are just flat out taking advantage of you. NTA, all this is a valuable lesson in how not to be a good leader. NTA, next time you see him, calmly ask your boss to keep your day off work free. Let him know that you are in high school and unavailable to be a salaried employee available at all times. But thank you for the opportunity. Perfect response. Make sure to always thank your employer, as you want to be in a good relationship with them. I stuck around in a previous job 4 years with no raises, and I never realized it was because I was kind of a dick. I changed a lot and gained a lot more respect in my next job. To be fair, my first boss was an asshole. NTA, and your number should never have been given out. Good for you for not taking this. NTA, please make this your professional mantra. I don't work for free. I do an honest day's work for an honest day's pay. NTA, and everything about this work situation is toxic. You aren't even a legal adult and your boss gave a customer your phone number. NTA, I actually had a similar experience that pissed me off so much I ended up quitting. I worked at a grocery store and I also am begin to theater my major now. I got cast in a production at my community theater, and as soon as I had a schedule I gave it to them and changed my availability. Well, about a month and a half passes and opening night is soon. I like to have a very chill and relaxed day on opening nights to save my energy. So 2 weeks before I asked for time off, and they approved it. Night of. I'm getting ready and an hour away from leaving for the show that starts at 8. I get a call from my manager and he asks me what I was doing. Reminded him I was getting ready for opening night. He just goes, yeah, okay. Hey, can you come in at 8 until close? I was kinda shocked for a bit because I have never been called in on a day I had specifically requested off. I just told him no, like I said, I have opening night tonight and it starts at 8, so I cannot work, and his response is what pissed me off. In the most condescending voice he goes, well, it sounds like you don't really wanna work here. Who? Like, I had requested this day off. He knew why, cause I said it twice in the call and every day for a week before. And he had the audacity to say that to me, like I'm supposed to drop everything at his beck and call. I didn't work there long, and I have too many stories from that place than I should have. So yeah, anyone who calls you on a day off and gets mad you don't wanna work can exit stage right. Honey, I'm telling you this as someone who's been in the same retail job for 10 years and thought she was also indispensable. It's simply not true. They could replace you in a minimum if you left and not blink an eye. Your definition NTA. Enjoy those days off and never answer those calls unless they leave a voicemail and it's an actual problem emergency. No. Someone calling out and you taking their shift is not included in emergencies. If you start coming in on those days you will never have a day off again. But when you can, get out when you can, as it will suck the life out of you. You are definitely NTA. I'm 19 myself, and while I'm full time at school right now, I know what it's like to work, let's say, unconventional hours. If you've let your bosses push you to work on your days off before, they're bound to do it again. You don't deserve to have to work on your day off. But the only way that anything is going to change is if you make it clear to your boss and your supervisor that your day off is your day off. If they don't like it, that's tough for them. If they make a big deal about it or try to push you out, then it's not a place you should be working at anyway. You sound resourceful enough and smart enough to get an even better job. At 18 and that last year of high school, you really need to take charge of your free time and spend it the way you want to spend it. Take this from someone who just their senior year to COVID. NTA. Assuming you're in the US, it's pretty illegal for a company to ask you to do work off the clock. My employer gets angry with me understandably when I answer their emails off the clock or do any work when I'm on my break, because more than the excuse of needing to take breaks for my mental health, my working off the clock puts them in a really ugly legal place. You are absolutely correct to strike a healthy work-life balance. I didn't strike that balance when I was young and still struggle with it. As others have mentioned, your employer likely does not care about you. No matter how good of a job you do, everyone can be replaced. Everyone. Some people are harder to replace than others, but everyone can be replaced. They will take what they can get from you, and they might value what you can do, but they will find someone to replace you when you leave. You're not irreplaceable to them, so don't feel guilty for not thinking about them 24/7. NTA check out Fair Labor Standards Act, which legally requires companies to pay hourly non-exempt employees for any work, calls, texts etc. outside of the office or scheduled hours. So you can go to your boss and say, according to the FLSA, you are required to pay me for working outside my scheduled hours. The minimum is in 15-minute increments. I will from now on be tracking all calls, texts and emails and submitting to payroll for compensation. Furthermore, since you thought it was appropriate to give out my personal cell phone, which was not a term required by hiring number to a customer, I will be submitting a reimbursement claim for monthly billing. You can either provide a company phone if you want customers to be able to reach me outside of the office, or we nip this in the bud right now and agree that it was inappropriate and won't happen again in the future. Please subscribe